Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And today I'm going to tell you how much it costs to use an electric motor wheel as your only means of transportation in the city. So, let me tell you more about it. Wrong Way. Well, I know the title is kind of cringe, but anyways, if somebody's maybe looking for a car, maybe it's better to get a quarter of it. Well, I know. A electric unicycle, or like motor wheel as I want to call it now, is definitely not a quarter of a car. But I think actually in the city, it's more value than the car. And today we are going to take a look at the expenses I have on my personal own electric unicycle and the veteran Sherman. And I got this idea for the video from a viewer of mine, Scott, who inspired me to break down the costs of owning these vehicles. In this video, you're looking at a different e-wheel I have, the Kingsong S18. As a YouTube reviewer of these kinds of vehicles, it's kinda hard to track all of the mileage I get in a month and all of the expenses, but all in all I ride around 2,000 to maybe even 3,000 to 4,000 kilometers every month, and that's also why my electricity bill is a bit higher than usual. So before we get into the specifics of the cost in the veteran Sherman wheel, I want to tell you that my electricity usage went from a usual standard 40 kilowatt hours to 210 kilowatt hours per month. What does it mean in money? Well, it really depends on your country. You can calculate it yourself. For me, it meant that I wasn't paying the usual 10 euro or so for electricity, and Poland it's quite cheap. But I was paying around 40 to 50 euro. I really highly value my independence of traffic, of parking, of, not being late for buses, trains, or whatsoever. So for this amount of money, I think it's a pretty good result. So let's get back to the veteran Sherman. It has a battery of 3.2 kilowatt hours, which will give you a range of around 100 kilometers. You can go further, you can go maybe even less than that if you ride really speedy, but that is the average. Charging the wheel is naturally not 100% efficient, but still it's pretty efficient. So let's count in that for 100 kilometers you will use 4 kilowatt hours. And then you can do the maths pretty much yourself. For me, riding 100 kilometers cost me anywhere around 50 euro cent. But are there any other expenses? Well, currently I've ridden around 4,500 kilometers on this wheel because I have a lot of other stuff to test in the meantime. But in this time, the veteran Sherman behaved really nicely without any major repairs. I was riding it in the rain, in winter, in snow, a bit of sand as well. And that is probably why I had to do one service with the wheel, which is changing out bearings in the motor. This service cost me around 70 euro, if I remember correctly, with the disassembly of the wheel not done by me. But other than that, it is actually quite bulletproof as it goes for now. I'm sure that, over a longer period of time, there might be other things happening, and that is also why I'm keeping this wheel maybe up to 10-20,000 kilometers, because I'm really curious to see what is with the battery degradation, what is, with all the other stuff that is mechanical parts in the electric unicycle. The tire is more than fine after 4,500 kilometers. I think I will easily get it to 10, 20 even 1,000 kilometers without it balding too hard. All of the inner components look fine, the light is powerful. I don't need to change brake calipers because it doesn't have any brake calipers. And as said, every part of the wheel functions really nicely. The initial cost of buying such a wheel is 2,700 euro at my eWheel. You can also use my discount code wrongway for 5% discount. And naturally there is also depreciation. I think that I could potentially sell my veteran Sherman for around 2,000 euro, but because, you know, it's used by Wrongway, it probably would be less, but still, definitely after like 5,000 kilometers, it's more than half worth of the money. I believe, like, as said, 2,000 euro, something around that, maybe 1,700. But maybe now we can talk about what costs you are actually avoiding with a electric motor wheel. Well, first of all, there is very little maintenance with it. As you heard, I just had to change the bearings, but this is because I ride, as you see on the video now. There is no oil change, there is no coolant fluid change, there is no, I don't know, any usual stuff that you might find in a car or in a bicycle. You can also possibly insure a UC, and the costs are very low. I think I have one insurance covering me and the electric unicycle, and this is around, I don't know, 50 euro a year, something like that. Really cost that you don't feel in everyday finances. I'm not paying for parking. I don't even have a U-lock or any kind of lock for the EUC that I usually take with me, because I just go with it inside of a store or inside of a restaurant. It is small enough to just carry it inside. When it comes to longer trips, I sometimes also take a charger with me, and usually I can use a McDonald's or any other restaurant plug to charge up my wheel on the way. There's currently no road tags for vehicles like these, but as it goes for many countries, they are actually like a gray area, sort of. So I would actually prefer to pay a road tax to just be legally riding on the road or a bicycle path, and preferably both. So look, I think I dragged this video out as long as I could. There isn't really much cost to owning and maintaining a electric unicycle. When it comes to electric scooters, there's a bit more of that. I think they're more complicated. You have to also get new brake calipers. Stuff might break actually much sooner than on EUCs. So I won't go too much into that, but EUCs is just relatively bulletproof. So that's it. Now, if you enjoyed this video, if you have any comments, you can leave them below. I hope you liked it, and if you do, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and the rest of the video is just me riding in the city of Warsaw on my King Song S18. Enjoy!